Welcome to Dark Psychology World Channel. I hope you like it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now I will start reading this book to you. Positive Communication, written and published by Eng. Ghastly disagreement is a natural occurrence in human relationships. Conflict, when approached positively, can lead to personal growth, improved understanding, and stronger relationships. On the other hand, if it is not addressed or dealt with in a positive manner, it can result in emotional pain, strained relationships, and even physical harm. Positive communication offers readers practical tools to effectively handle conflict in a peaceful and empathetic way, resulting in mutually agreeable solutions. This book provides a clear and straightforward guide to becoming an effective conflict resolver by learning effective communication skills, actively listening, being open-minded, showing empathy, evaluating problems, responding thoughtfully, seeking mutual understanding, taking responsibility, and finding compromises. Readers will become more confident in resolving conflicts. The principles outlined in this guide are applicable in various settings, including homework and the community. With this valuable knowledge, readers will be able to tap into their natural abilities to bridge gaps and foster unity through compromise by regularly practicing the techniques in positive communication. You can effortlessly navigate conflict and make it a natural part of your problem-solving skills. Lesson 1: Communication with words that heal. Clear and concise communication is essential for building strong connections. Understanding the power of our words and tones is crucial. When conflict arises, they have the power to either increase tensions or reduce them. Effective communicators carefully select their words to foster comprehension rather than conflict. Speaking in a way that promotes healing instead of harm is a skill that can be developed by anyone. Begin by cultivating self-awareness prior to speaking. It is important to take a moment to look within ourselves and consider our emotions and what we hope to achieve from the conversation. Speaking out of anger or frustration will only escalate the situation. When we start by grounding ourselves, we can communicate in a balanced and conciliatory manner. Next, it's important to genuinely listen and try to understand the other person's perspective without passing judgment. Responding with defensiveness will only make them feel unheard. We show our eagerness to understand their perspective through active listening. When expressing our position, the way we choose our words affects how it is understood. When we make generalizations and accusations, it tends to provoke a combative reaction. On the other hand, expressing your thoughts using "I feel" statements can help prevent defensiveness. It's important to carefully consider the timing of our responses. At times, it's best to postpone sensitive conversations until everyone has calmed down. Furthermore, the choice of words can either incite or calm. Using inflammatory language only serves to escalate conflict, whereas using neutral and nonviolent terms can help open doors to de-escalation. Using a cooperative approach even when expressing differing opinions shows respect. Lastly, it is important to filter our speech, understanding the difference between facts and interpretations, as well as recognizing the significance of character-related issues is crucial. One approach leads to solutions while the other causes harm. By practicing effective communication, we can enhance our ability to resolve conflicts through meaningful conversations rather than engaging in Arguments communication has the ability to bring comfort and resolution. Effective communication is crucial for successfully managing the conflicts that naturally occur in relationships. One important aspect is to encourage open and honest communication where people can freely express their needs, interests, concerns, and perspectives. It is crucial to listen attentively and respectfully without passing judgment in order to understand all sides of the issues at hand. This helps avoid misunderstandings that can lead to unnecessary conflicts. When one side incorrectly assumes the values or motives of the other, addressing issues openly and promptly helps foster trust among people, creating a solid basis for future compromises. Clear communication and open dialogue can help resolve disagreements and strengthen relationships. Furthermore, clear and straightforward communication helps to build empathy and resolve conflicts. Strong emotions such as anger, pride, or fear often hinder parties from considering different perspectives, leading to an adversarial approach. By recognizing and expressing difficult emotions before sharing information, the listener can better understand the underlying reasons behind their reactions. This fosters comprehension, leading to increased willingness from all parties to reach feasible compromises. Validating each other's emotions before impulsively reacting also helps to humanize and diffuse tense situations. As a result, conflicts can be seen as opportunities for personal growth instead of reasons to engage in attacks. Additionally, open and unbiased communication uncovers the underlying shared values, interests, objectives, or relationships that conflicting parties have in common. Going beyond surface disputes, many times conflicts arise over minor issues that divert attention from the larger shared goals or connections between parties. By openly communicating and actively listening without assumptions, people can uncover common interests beyond their positions. This shared understanding allows for collaborative solutions that meet the core needs of all parties involved. Going beyond superficial conflicts. In addition, regular and effective communication in relationships prevents minor problems from escalating into major conflicts. When small disagreements arise and aren't resolved because of communication issues, resentments build up and can lead to emotional confrontations. Establish clear and effective communication channels can help address and resolve conflicts before they become more serious. Open and honest communication can help resolve issues before they escalate and strain relationships. Finally, communication that focuses on understanding rather than attacking helps to move conflict towards reconciliation. Communication patterns that are destructive, such as name calling, ultimatums, and accusations, can lead to defensiveness and conflicts. Using I statements and paraphrasing others' perspectives can help build bridges. Parties transition from opposing positions to shared interests. In addition, by asking questions to clarify and objectively labeling emotions, we can bring nuance to conflicts that may otherwise be seen in a simplistic and polarized way. Ultimately, effective communication has the power to turn conflicts into chances for personal development and stronger relationships. Understanding effective communication during times of conflict is crucial. It is important to know when to engage in dialogue and when it may be necessary to take a step back in heated situations. At the beginning of discord, addressing issues directly and tactfully Helps prevent building up resentments when tensions arise. It's important to take a step back and give yourself some space to calm down before continuing the conversation. This helps ensure that emotions don't take over and derail the discussion. On the other hand, if we consistently avoid challenging conversations, it only allows conflicts to grow unnoticed and become more intense as time goes on. When conflicts arise, it's important to prioritize communication that promotes calmness and rationality. This allows all parties involved to express their fundamental needs and genuinely listen to each other's perspectives without passing judgment. Failure to consider both sides' perspectives may lead to unresolved emotions resurfacing in the future, resulting in a sense of being ignored. After a conflict, it's important to quickly restore communication in order to repair relationships before they are irreparably damaged by distance. Quietness can lead to strained relationships, leaving behind lasting pain. In general, adjusting timing and delivery style based on the situation is important. However, it is crucial to consistently communicate with empathy and validation before, during, and after conflicts in order to promote mutual understanding and reconciliation. Additionally, in the midst of conflict, when emotions run high and viewpoints seem distant, pausing to assess our emotions can help avoid harmful communication. Taking a moment to pause helps to maintain self-control and restore a sense of mental balance for everyone involved. When resuming the conversation, it's important to be open and honest about one's own unresolved emotions and past mistakes. This shows a willingness to take responsibility instead of placing blame on others. This fosters trust and promotes a willingness to comprehend. Nevertheless, avoiding sensitive topics can hinder relationships, so it's important to approach difficult conversations with care and consideration. In addition, when there is a significant disagreement and a lot of arguments, it is important to prioritize conflict de-escalation through compassionate communication, centering discussions on finding and acknowledging areas of agreement and mutual interests. Fosters unity, making it possible to reach compromises. Listening with clarity and openness allows for a harmonious exchange of ideas, fostering collaboration and finding solutions that meet everyone's needs. Without proper communication, the lack of understanding or the presence of ego rather than empathy can hinder the potential for finding solutions. In addition, when finally resolving conflicts, it is important to promptly repair relationships through clear and forgiving communication. This will prevent any future damage or misunderstandings. Everyone benefits from avoiding silence. Open and honest communication can help mend emotional wounds and strengthen relationships. Unaddressed pain that we hold on to without realizing it can resurface and become even more intense over time. Clearly expressing a desire to understand fosters the rekindling of connections. When used with compassion, communication has the ability to transform discord by promoting change and fostering connection between people. Communication, when approached with care and purpose, can lead to reconciliation and the joyful restoration of relationships. Mastering compassionate, conscious communication skills is crucial for successfully navigating interpersonal conflict. First, it's important to address tensions early on to prevent unproductive reactions. It's important to approach sensitive topics by expressing one's own perspective using I statements that focus on specific needs Rather than attacking someone's character, make sure to listen attentively and restate others' opinions without passing judgment, demonstrating a genuine effort to understand this. Validation fosters trust, allowing all parties to communicate openly and honestly without worrying about negative consequences. However, just expressing emotions without taking further steps hinders the progress of finding a solution. Efficiently identify the main factual issues by using labels that address emotions, such as "it seems like you're feeling angry because you're seeking clarity about this." Focuses on practical solutions rather than mere sensations. Once all viewpoints are clearly expressed, find areas of agreement and shared interests to work together towards finding solutions. Usually disagreements arise from misunderstandings rather than actual opposition, as underlying values or priorities often contribute to conflicts. Close the gap by acknowledging common ground and working together to come up with practical solutions that address everyone's needs. However, when values differ significantly, look for compromises that incorporate elements that each party considers essential. Ultimately, when we prioritize effective communication and find ways to combine our unique perspectives, we can achieve mutual benefits instead of getting caught up in win-lose situations during intense conflicts. It's important to remember that communicating with passion but without empathy can actually worsen the situation instead of leading to progress. In situations where emotions run high, it is important to handle our reactions responsibly. Take a moment to identify what caused these intense feelings and take ownership of how we express ourselves without blaming others for their ability to comprehend. Breathing consciously helps to prevent emotions from taking over during conversations. Communicate in a calm manner, focusing on the facts and using accurate descriptions instead of emotionally charged accusations. This promotes meaningful conversation rather than escalating conflicts, while respecting the dignity of all people. After reaching a clear agreement, it's important to make sure everyone understands what happened before moving on. Clearly state and agree on solutions that take into account the values of all groups involved. Create a set of standards to assess how effective a solution is in the future. Before ending the conversation, it's important to kindly address any remaining mixed emotions. If left unaddressed, unresolved dissatisfaction can undermine sincere efforts and eventually resurface in a more amplified manner. Expressing gratitude and concerns in a constructive manner helps to establish long-lasting agreements. Communication is crucial in every stage of conflict, whether it's addressing early tensions or resolving issues after the fact. When used intentionally, dialogue can repair the damage caused by conflicts. Arranging words with care can create pathways that bridge divides and offer solutions to two seemingly impossible challenges. Compassionate communication allows hope to prevail even in the face of seemingly insurmountable conflicts. Lesson 2: be a good listener and let everyone have their say. Resolving conflict in a constructive manner involves embracing the idea that there isn't always a clear right or wrong side. When we make room for different viewpoints, complex solutions can arise. Developing mutual understanding requires active listening before expressing our own opinions. Encouraging open expression from others helps to ease tensions and provides valuable context for resolving disagreements. During times of heightened tension, we often feel compelled to persuade others of our rightness. However, Being an effective listener involves refraining from making premature judgments or interruptions. Listening carefully and with genuine understanding can help resolve disagreements more quickly. When we refrain from reacting immediately, we demonstrate the importance of having an open mind, which is what we hope others will do when considering our own perspective. In addition, actively listening before jumping to conclusions helps establish trust, which is crucial for resolving conflicts. Understanding and acknowledging others' perspectives can foster a greater openness to considering different viewpoints. Additionally, it helps avoid harmful assumptions about intentions and beliefs that can worsen conflicts. Listening fosters a sense of collaboration for future progress. In addition, practicing active listening helps us broaden our perspective, enabling us to gain a more complete understanding before coming up with solutions. Examining complex issues from different perspectives can reveal new insights that may not be immediately apparent. Expanding our understanding by considering all perspectives helps us make better decisions without resorting to black and white thinking. Ultimately, effective listening sets the stage for resolving conflicts instead of causing stalemates. When different perspectives are shared and listened to, empathy can flourish and rigid stances can become more flexible. Discovering shared interests paves the way for solutions that everyone can easily understand and agree upon. Generous, engaged listening is essential for effectively navigating interpersonal conflicts. To truly excel at listening, it's important to approach it with an open mind and a genuine desire to understand different viewpoints rather than just collecting information to support our own arguments. One way to fully engage in conversations is by intentionally letting go of distractions and external interruptions. Attentive listeners provide speakers with their full attention, allowing them to feel heard and valued. They are able to grasp both verbal and nonverbal communication, including facial expressions, body language, and tone. When you maintain warm eye contact and nod your head, it lets speakers know that you are a compassionate and trustworthy listener. This presence communicates a complete and undivided attention. Additionally, effective listening involves being attuned to emotions and being able to recognize underlying feelings that may not be explicitly expressed. Even in seemingly calm conversations, there are often underlying feelings of hurt, anger, fear, or insecurity. Observant people can often detect signs of inner turmoil through subtle cues like creased eyebrows or fidgeting hands. Listeners can validate speakers' emotive experiences by simply labeling the emotions they observe. This process of emotional mirroring fosters a feeling of psychological safety, which allows for open and honest communication about sensitive issues that are crucial for resolving conflicts. Accepting others' honest opinions without rushing to judge shows a genuine commitment to building strong relationships rather than just saying empty words. In addition, becoming a skilled listener requires developing patience. This involves giving others the opportunity to express their thoughts without any interruptions. Listeners often hold back from offering their own solutions or steering the conversation towards their own interests, allowing the speaker to freely express themselves. The objective remains focused on understanding. Effective listeners wait until speakers have fully expressed their thoughts before asking for clarification. This exemplifies elegance, fostering confidence in one's sincere effort to comprehend even complex Realities in addition, it is crucial to synthesize and summarize what one hears in order to ensure accurate interpretation of complex conversations. Good listeners have a knack for summarizing what others say, capturing both the facts and emotions, and then politely checking if they got it right. Summaries. Translators of American Sign Language express movement through verbalization. This validation technique ensures that speakers feel truly heard, without any internal distractions that may give the impression of listening in order to truly understand. It is important to set aside any preconceived notions and fully engage in active listening. People often have a natural inclination to react emotionally when others are speaking. Generous listeners strive to adopt a learning mindset, remaining dedicated to fully understanding different perspectives without letting their own assumptions get in the way. They acknowledge the complex nature of truth with open minds. This clarity and moderation improves understanding, avoiding harmful misunderstandings. Generous engaged listening is essential for effectively navigating interpersonal conflicts. To truly excel at listening, it's important to approach it with an open mind and a genuine desire to understand different viewpoints rather than just collecting information to support our own arguments. One way to fully engage in conversations is by intentionally letting go of distractions and external interruptions. Attentive listeners provide speakers with their full attention, allowing them to feel heard and valued. They are able to grasp both verbal and nonverbal communication, including facial expressions, body language, and tone. When you maintain warm eye contact and nod your head, it lets speakers know that you are a compassionate and trustworthy listener. This presence communicates a complete and undivided attention. Additionally, effective listening involves being attuned to emotions and being able to recognize underlying feelings that may not be explicitly expressed. Even in seemingly calm conversations, there are often underlying feelings of hurt, anger, fear, or insecurity. Observant people can often detect signs of inner turmoil through subtle cues like creased eyebrows or fidgeting hands. Listeners can validate speakers' emotional experiences by simply labeling the emotions they observe. This process of emotional mirroring fosters a feeling of psychological safety, which allows for open and honest communication about sensitive issues that are crucial for resolving conflicts. Accepting others' honest opinions without rushing to judge shows a genuine commitment to building strong relationships rather than just saying empty words. In addition, becoming a skilled listener requires developing patience. This involves giving others the opportunity to express their thoughts without any interruptions. Listeners often hold back from offering their own solutions or steering the conversation towards their own interests, allowing the speaker to freely express themselves. The objective remains focused on understanding. Effective listeners wait until speakers have fully expressed their thoughts before asking for clarification. This exemplifies elegance, fostering confidence in one's sincere effort to comprehend even complex realities. In addition, it is crucial to synthesize and summarize what one hears in order to ensure accurate interpretation of complex conversations. Good listeners have a knack for summarizing what others say, capturing both the facts and emotions, and then politely checking if they got it right. Summaries. Translators of American Sign Language express movement through verbalization. This validation technique ensures that speakers feel truly heard, without any internal distractions that may give the impression of listening in. Order to truly understand it is important to set aside any preconceived notions and fully engage in active listening. People often have a natural inclination to react emotionally when others are speaking. Generous listeners strive to adopt a learning mindset, remaining dedicated to fully understanding different perspectives without letting their own assumptions get in the way. They acknowledge the complex nature of truth with open minds. This clarity and moderation improves understanding, avoiding harmful misunderstandings, ensuring that all parties have an equal opportunity to express their differing perspectives is crucial for fostering mutual understanding. During times of conflict, to truly understand each other, it is important to focus on being thorough rather than just being efficient. This involves giving space for marginalized or underrepresented voices to be heard alongside more dominant perspectives. However, in addition to allowing equal airtime, facilitators should create a safe and supportive environment where all group members feel comfortable sharing their thoughts without worrying about being judged. While discussing past wrongdoings can often lead to heated emotions and conflicts, it is important to approach the conversation with accountability and empathy. This shows a genuine commitment to effective communication rather than just going through the motions. This grace fosters trust that differing opinions will be met with open minds instead of immediate rebuttal. Leaders establish an atmosphere that is easy to grasp. After creating a safe environment for open communication, it is important for parties to find a balance between exploring different ideas and staying focused on the main topic when emotions that have been suppressed start to surface. It's important to avoid getting caught up in personal attacks that take away from finding solutions. This can lead to increased tensions without any real progress being made. Experienced mediators help steer conversations away from negative detours and focus on finding solutions. They can differentiate between emotional venting and addressing the underlying issues that require structural change. This helps ensure that conflict resolution remains productive and focused on finding solutions rather than devolving into unproductive complaining sessions. Once all perspectives are taken into account, the identified issues drive the vision for actions that all stakeholders can support. In addition, when people who are used to dominating conversations forcefully express their opinions, facilitators need to create a safe and inclusive environment where those who are often silenced can confidently share their perspectives without the fear of being dismissed. This involves reducing the volume of loud voices as softer ones do not need to shout in order to be valid. Amplifying the views of quieter members helps ensure equal participation. Enabling open communication and empathy paves the way for comprehensive solutions. In addition, when reaching tentative agreements, it is important for leaders to allow for reservations and concerns to be expressed in a safe environment, even at the last minute. Before making final decisions, unaddressed concerns can jeopardize the successful execution in the future. There is generally more agreement on a continuum rather than complete unanimity. Productively airing alternative views helps refine proposals for maximum support and long-term success. It's important that people don't feel compelled to make compromises that go against their own interests, even in situations where they are outnumbered. Appreciate the bravery of staying true to your beliefs, encouraging equal participation from everyone regardless of their Position promotes collaboration instead of forcing others, encouraging genuine disagreement helps to establish long-lasting unity rather than temporary agreements that are prone to breaking apart. Peace-building is rooted in the fundamental principle of recognizing the equal value of every human being when everyone's voices are heard. Innovative solutions arise. Jenny found herself caught up in a heated disagreement with her closest companions Talia and Samuel. They had all agreed to live together next semester at college. However, they couldn't come to a consensus when it came to selecting an apartment. Jenny adored the apartment's open floor planned perfect for hosting gatherings with friends. She enthusiastically dominated the conversation, passionately explaining why the large common areas were more important than the smaller bedrooms. She interrupted Talia, excitedly suggesting that we convert the basement into an additional hangout area. Samuel raised his hand and called out, "Jenny, could you please refrain from interrupting everyone?" Jenny was taken aback by the sudden sharpness in his typically calm voice. "I apologize," Samuel said with a gentler tone. "I understand your enthusiasm for this apartment. However, it is important for all of us to have the opportunity to express our viewpoints in order to reach a consensus that satisfies everyone." Jenny nodded, realizing that her excitement had gotten the best of her. "You're correct, Samuel." "Talia, what were you saying about the risk of the basement flooding?" Talia smiled gently, brushing her dark curly hair aside before speaking as Talia shared her concerns about the unit's water damage history. Jenny attentively listened, seeking a better understanding of her friend's need for security. Samuel expressed his desire to have a guest room with privacy walls, as he wanted to host his family and provide them with a comfortable space. Jenny posed insightful inquiries, uncovering fresh perspectives on what her friends found important in a residence. Jenny gained valuable insight into finding an apartment that would suit everyone's needs by allowing Talia and Samuel to express themselves fully and listening attentively to understand their concerns. The three friends settled on a conveniently located flat near campus that had an extra guest room. Jenny was happy to discover how to balance her conversations and give her friends the opportunity to express themselves. Their connection deepened as they resolved their conflict. Lesson 3: always make sure to keep open mind. Conflict resolution involves the ability to approach situations without preconceived notions and view them objectively. Embracing new information and different perspectives is crucial for developing a well-rounded understanding. It involves consciously letting go of attachments to assumed correctness or black and white thinking that can distort the complexities of reality. Breakthrough solutions emerge when we approach things with open minds, allowing us to see possibilities that narrow viewpoints may overlook. Developing a mindset of continuous openness helps us become more aware of the limitations of our perspectives when it comes to understanding complex issues. Input is naturally filtered through our own unique worldviews, which are shaped by our personal experiences and values. Having an open mind means acknowledging that there is no one perspective that has exclusive claim to the truth. This humble approach enables us to carefully evaluate our own assumptions in light of different perspectives. Instead of stubbornly defending our current beliefs, we strive to develop more knowledgeable perspectives by incorporating a wider range of insights. In addition, people with fixed mindsets who firmly believe in a single correct answer are unable to truly comprehend conflicting information. Jumping to conclusions about input being an incorrect hinders the ability to gain a deeper understanding. Having an open mind means being receptive to diverse data and allowing for contradiction and nuance without censorship. This sense of mental spaciousness and curiosity allows for a greater sense of clarity. We analyze various inputs to determine the most effective paths forward. In addition, navigating interpersonal conflicts becomes much simpler when all parties approach them with an open mind. Both sides are open to considering different needs and flaws in their logic without stubbornly clinging to oppositional stances. Collaborative discourse fosters the emergence of fresh solutions that benefit everyone by encouraging open and exploratory discussions. In the end, embracing curiosity rather than judgment drives progress. Being open-minded and willing to challenge assumptions can lead to personal growth and innovative ideas. Having an open mind can help us find solutions. Understanding and resolving conflicts requires a flexible perspective free from preconceived judgments. Having a flexible mindset is crucial for gaining a clear perspective and finding innovative solutions. It's crucial to approach disagreements with an open mind in order to find resolutions. Conflicts often arise when different perspectives clash, each believing their own interpretation of truth is valid. Refusing to change one's position in light of new conflicting information leads to deadlocks. However, embracing contrasting evidence with curiosity fosters a deeper understanding that is crucial for finding common ground. In addition, when conflicts become interpersonal, practicing open-minded listening can help prevent tensions from escalating due to miscommunication caused by unchecked biases. Developing a deeper sense of empathy is facilitated by approaching each other with a fresh perspective free from the influence of past experiences. When there is a mutual understanding, conflicts can be resolved and does for reconciliation can open. In addition, when people lack the ability to think flexibly, they often find themselves trapped in opposing viewpoints, making it difficult to consider alternative solutions that could benefit everyone involved. They focus more on superficial distinctions rather than underlying motivations. Collaborative creativity thrives when people come together with open minds to brainstorm and generate mutually beneficial options that may have been overlooked. Peoply in addition, hasty criticism from narrow-minded people distorts the meaning of words with subjective opinions rather than objective truth. This attitude places personal pride before finding solutions, hindering the potential for compromise. Creating a safe environment for sharing and problem solving involves maintaining a neutral and curious approach, which helps foster positive outcomes. Conflicts can cause division among those with inflexible perspectives, but unity can be achieved through compassion and open-mindedness. In the end, fostering a mindset of constant openness helps to bring clarity and find solutions in the face of any kind of disagreement. Developing a mindset that is open and flexible is crucial for effectively handling disagreements and finding solutions that everyone can agree on. First and foremost, it's important to be aware of our own biases, assumptions, and filters that can influence how we judge situations. Filters that can influence how we judge situations. By being proactive in identifying these, we can strive to objectively assess situations. We each have unique life experiences, values, and perspectives that shape how we interpret events by becoming aware of these biases through continuous self-reflection. We can quickly recognize our tendency to be narrow-minded and avoid making snap judgments by asking open-minded questions instead. This self-awareness helps to bring clarity to issues involving conflicts of perspective avoiding any distortions. In addition, it can be helpful to take a moment and consider different perspectives that challenge our own beliefs rather than immediately dismissing them. Take a moment to breathe and repeat a simple mantra like remain receptive to open your mind to different perspectives even when your beliefs may be uncertain. This example showcases genuine open-mindedness rather than just superficially paying it lip service when incorporating new information that contradicts previous assumptions. It can be helpful to avoid creating false dichotomies that oversimplify debates into a right versus wrong scenario. Instead, embrace a mindset that allows for the coexistence of various aspects, like mosaic tiles coming together to form a complete picture. There are several valid perspectives, not just one. Furthermore, when emotions intensify due to the fear of being incorrect, identify and acknowledge these immediate reactions, and then view the situation as a chance for personal development. Embracing the challenges of uncertain situations expands our thinking abilities instead of limiting ourselves with rigid beliefs. In order to seek comfort, take the time to contemplate challenging questions without feeling the pressure to find immediate solutions. Having the courage to change one's mind when faced with new evidence is a sign of strength, not weakness. In addition, during group conflicts, it is important to encourage all parties to listen attentively without interrupting or planning rebuttal while others share their counterclaims. Encourage open dialogue and respect different perspectives without reacting defensively. Embrace moments of silence while considering different perspectives and then come up with innovative solutions. In order to truly keep an open mind, it is important to shift our perspective and move away from viewing things as simply two sides of the same coin. Instead, we should strive to see that there is more to a situation than just black and white understanding. Reality can be challenging due to its intricate nature. Releasing rigid assumptions leads to the emergence of breakthrough insights. Our solutions quality is directly influenced by the expansiveness of our thinking. Lesson for showing empathy to any sides. Understanding different perspectives, even those that oppose your own, is crucial for effective conflict resolution. It requires empathy and compassion. Understanding and empathizing with others' emotions and needs can help bring people together and find collaborative solutions, starting with active and open-minded listening. It's important to provide a safe and non-judgmental environment for everyone to express themselves by refraining from making assumptions. We can better understand different perspectives and beliefs, even if they may appear unreasonable to us, by refraining from criticism. Trust and vulnerability can be fostered, allowing core concerns to be revealed and acknowledged. In addition, recognizing the emotions that others are experiencing, even if they don't express them verbally, helps to build a strong connection that is crucial for reconciliation. Physical manifestations of emotions include tense shoulders or shaking voices. Recognizing someone's anxiety or upset feelings shows empathy and a willingness to understand their perspective before engaging in a debate. In addition, expressing "I comprehend the Significance of this to you can help resolve conflicts by creating a sense of understanding and recognition. From this point, it becomes possible to achieve mutually agreeable outcomes by aligning values that were previously hidden beneath surface. Clashes in the end. Understanding and relating to a different point of view doesn't mean you have to agree with it. Instead, approaching with empathy opens doors to solutions that everyone can work on together while maintaining their dignity. Understanding and empathy can help resolve conflicts, showing genuine empathy for all perspectives in a conflict, even those that may seem unreasonable, helps to create pathways for resolutions that everyone can agree on. Building trust is crucial for parties to feel comfortable discussing their deeper emotional needs that may be causing surface-level conflicts. Resolution often focuses on surface-level symptoms rather than addressing the deeper incompatibilities that require reconciliation. This can happen when there is a lack of vulnerability and open communication about core concerns, rather than just stating positions. Pointing out the flaws in others' positions can sometimes be a way for us to protect our own egos rather than actually addressing the problems at hand. Starting with active listening to grasp emotional contexts helps to diffuse defensive reactions, allowing for the resolution of complex issues without exacerbating them. Empathy ensures that everyone's voice is heard and respected, even in situations where power imbalances are present. This helps to maintain dignity and find solutions that benefit everyone. In addition, conflicts often escalate when people with fixed mindsets dismiss opposing views as inferior instead of considering them. They often mistake empathy for an admission of the absolute truth. However, understanding why alternate accounts make sense from someone else's perspective is crucial for accurately diagnosing dilemmas instead of criticizing those who disagree. Understanding their perspective can help us better understand the different factors that shape our diverse worldviews. This insight helps avoid misunderstandings about someone's character due to conflicting conclusions. Understanding and empathizing with different perspectives can lead to mutually beneficial solutions. In addition, showing emotional understanding helps to calm the body's natural response to feeling threatened during situations of polarization. Validation helps regulate nervous systems that can become stuck in fight, flight, or freeze mode during intense conflicts. Parties can discover creative solutions when they release demands and view things from a fresh perspective. Prioritizing empathy helps to prevent the perpetuation of tribalism. In addition, recognizing the shared nature of complex issues fosters a sense of common ground that is essential for cooperation and helps break down false divisions between opposing sides. Understanding the complex emotions of those we perceive as adversaries can help foster tolerance and empathy even in times of disagreement. While it is difficult to reach a unanimous agreement on complex matters, it is important to recognize the emotional nuances involved and not rely solely on extreme positions. This allows for the possibility of finding alternative solutions. In essence, fostering genuine empathy promotes collective awakening rather than focusing solely on winning arguments in isolation. Understanding others as deeply as oneself is essential when following the golden rule of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Receiving grace leads to receiving more grace. Understanding and compassion foster harmony. Figuring out the best Time to show empathy during conflicts can be a delicate balance. It's important to find a way to acknowledge people's feelings without dismissing any harm caused, while also trying to diffuse tensions before they escalate at the beginning of a conflict. It's important to approach with empathy and understand the underlying insecurities that drive people's actions. This can help foster meaningful dialogue and prevent making negative assumptions about others. However, in cases where there are significant power imbalances, it is important to prioritize the protection of the injured before expecting them to show forgiveness towards their oppressors. We need to maintain necessary boundaries while we work on increasing transparency regarding the impacts. Ultimately, understanding and acknowledging our shared human flaws and common goals help foster reconciliation. On the other hand, denying adversaries fundamental respect only deepens the rifts. Secondly, once the initial eruptions settle down, it's important to recognize and understand the different valid and misguided aspects within each perspective. This will help foster self-accountability, which is crucial for de-escalation. Rarely do shows of contempt stem from one part alone. Most people have room to improve in managing their real actions and actions by focusing on understanding and acknowledging our own mistakes instead of solely blaming others. We can build trust and create an environment where we can kindly encourage our partners to do the same. Understanding the potential for unintended harm brings us together even in difficult times. Furthermore, as tempers cool in later stages, showing genuine curiosity through clarifying questions about what life experiences shaped opposing worldviews opens doors to aha moments rarely reached amidst crisis. Exploring the past can help uncover underlying traumas that contribute to strong emotional reactions and distorted perceptions. By looking beyond people's actions, we can see their inner worlds and recognize that even those we may perceive as villains are actually imperfect people who deserve respect. This understanding and compassion helps to resolve any remaining hard feelings. In addition, once we reach preliminary agreements, it's important to handle the unavoidable reality that imperfect solutions cannot fully meet everyone's needs. This creates a sense of psychological safety, allowing for transparent discussions about any disappointments without the fear of undoing the progress we've made. Recognize the emotional intricacies involved in making compromises before going separate ways. When empathy is combined with accountability, it can bring justice and mercy to broken communities, leading to sustainable conflict resolution. Connect with fellow people who share the same vulnerabilities. Lesson 5. Understanding the conflict. Effectively resolving conflict starts with understanding their underlying problems instead of rushing to react. It is important to carefully analyze the underlying causes. Consider the key people involved, take into account the emotional dynamics, and consider the broader systemic factors. This thoughtful approach is crucial. Clear comprehension leads to finding solutions, while lack of understanding perpetuates conflict. Effective conflict analysis starts with recognizing factual issues and the emotions tied to them. By breaking down triggers, cultural contexts, and relationship dynamics from substantive issues, we can gain a clearer understanding. We become aware of the necessity of all components for lasting reconciliation. Many times quick responses focus on surface-level issues without delving into the root causes. Furthermore, by outlining the positions interests, and needs of all parties involved. We can identify potential areas of agreement. Opposing viewpoints often stem from underlying motivations that can be overshadowed by surface-level disagreements. Reconnecting shared hopes beneath presenting conflicts fosters understanding. This perspective transforms divisions between groups into inclusive suggestions. In addition, examining patterns of conflict history can provide insights into the factors that contribute to recurring flare-ups. Consistent problems arise in various situations involving familiar fuel dynamics and defensive tactics. Understanding these concepts leads to innovative solutions that can finally break the cycle of exhaustion. In the end, there is a valuable proverb that reminds us of the importance of taking our time. A knot is tied tighter by hurried hands. Untangling conflicts through thoughtful analysis promotes collaborative and sustainable conflict transformation. Instead of relying on quick fixes, the key to resolution lies in understanding. Resolving interpersonal conflicts can be challenging if we don't take the time to understand different perspectives and the underlying causes. Without this understanding, conflicts may only be resolved on the surface without achieving true reconciliation. Conflicts often stem from a combination of emotional dynamics, historical contexts, differing interpretations of truth, and unmet needs. Reacting quickly to inflammatory symptoms without fully understanding the underlying complexities leads to temporary solutions instead of addressing the root causes of the problems. At the heart of conflicts are perceived differences that arise from a lack of complete understanding about others' values, fears, and reasons for their actions. When we criticize strangers, actions, it can often come across as hatred instead of a well-intentioned strategy for safety. However, exploring the reasons behind seemingly irrational behavior reveals a relatable human nature rather than something alien or immoral. This perspective transforms vilified antagonists into multidimensional people, creating opportunities for productive cooperation instead of conflict. Furthermore, the global perceptions of parties are deeply influenced by their identity and life experiences, which in turn greatly impact their emotional reactions when conflicts arise. Thus, by considering various cultural perspectives, we can avoid making assumptions based solely on our own viewpoint and accurately diagnose issues. Understanding different perspectives is important because it helps us make sense of how different socio-cultural factors shape people's reactions in specific situations. This cultural literacy helps uncover blind spots while fostering empathy. In addition, conflicts often continue due to unresolved emotional wounds from previous cycles of cumulative offenses between parties. When unresolved emotions are not properly acknowledged and addressed, they can lead to exaggerated reactions. By recognizing this cautious sensitivity as a preliminary step, we can better focus on finding suitable solutions that prioritize healing rather than just discussing the issue in the end. By being aware of the emotional histories and complex layers of conflicts, we can respond to them more effectively, similar to how doctors need to diagnose symptoms before prescribing treatments. Conflict mediators require an understanding of the underlying causes of disputes in order to facilitate lasting peace. Understanding leads to empathy. Effectively resolving conflicts requires a thorough examination of their underlying issues through thoughtful analysis rather than oversimplifying them with knee-jerk reaction. There are a few important steps to take when trying to comprehend disagreements that involve multiple dimensions. First, identify factual problems from associated emotions, triggers, and relationship dynamics. Convoluting matters. Please provide details about any specific events, conversations, or behaviors that are causing issues along with the emotions or reactions associated with them. Isolate real issues from projections or assumptions. Confusing details. These distinctions provide clarity on appropriate resolutions. Secondly, map all parties' perceived positions while probing beneath surface stances to uncover underlying motivations and unvoiced fears. When described in a neutral manner, oppositional fronts often reveal unexpected similarities in terms of basic needs, values, and vision. This perspective transforms opposing forces into opportunities for working together. Pay attention to common aspirations rather than just differing approaches. Furthermore, it would be helpful to thoroughly examine the complete history of the conflict, paying attention to recurring patterns in communication styles, defensive mechanisms, and factors that contribute to the ongoing flare-ups around familiar pain points. Could you please provide information on the timeline of tensions and their development? Do certain triggers reliably detonate disputes? Understanding these themes helps to create long-term solutions. Additionally, it is important to take into account the wider cultural contexts that may impact those involved, including family backgrounds, moral values, socioeconomic status, and ethnicity. It's important to understand that how people perceive things on a global scale can greatly influence how they react on a local level. Developing an understanding of cultural worldviews different from our own fosters compassion. Interrogate bias. In order to truly grasp conflicts, it is important to acknowledge the intricacies of each situation instead of oversimplifying them into black and white perspectives of right vs wrong. Open your mind to different perspectives and let them expand your understanding. Understanding and appreciating diverse perspectives can lead to effective solutions. Lesson 6. Respond fairly and wisely when conflicts arise within communities. It's important to respond with fairness and wisdom. This is the most constructive way to achieve sustainable reconciliation and restore relationships. The apparent disagreement among people often hides the shared hopes that lie beneath the surface. Restoring bonds requires prioritizing receptivity over defensiveness, creating a solid foundation for achieving mutual satisfaction in the future. However, in the midst of misunderstandings, it is important to remain patient and keep a calm demeanor in order to reach a genuine resolution through a deeper understanding. Despite outward appearances, the fundamental desire of every people is to seek connection rather than isolation. The question then shifts from determining whose truth prevails to exploring how we can ensure that everyone's fundamental needs are fulfilled. In this context, clear and straightforward responses differentiate between ongoing disagreement and temporary disengagement. By fostering environments that prioritize listening over immediate reactions amidst a jumble of conflicting opinions, people often reach misguided conclusions because they fail to engage in meaningful dialogue. Listening attentively encourages greater exploration. Unfairness can often result from a limited grasp of people's needs. However, when everyone is willing to listen, it becomes possible to find a genuine compromise that balances the needs of the group with the importance of each person's dignity. Solutions are born through patience, in addition, recognizing our shared humanity beneath surface level conflicts helps to reduce hostility when people embrace a foundation of kindness, humor, and lightheartedness. Flourish even in the face of potential harm caused by ignorance. Lead with empathy and speak respectfully towards perceived opponents. Putting people first is key in building strong relationships. Effectively managing conflict requires balancing the need to respect each person's values and emotions with the necessity of addressing difficult issues honestly and compassionately. Find a balance between showing compassion and holding others accountable when conflicts arise due to limited resources or policies that require careful analysis. It is important to consider the overall benefits for the entire community. Explore innovative solutions that address the diverse needs of all parties involved, going beyond traditional arguments and finding new approaches. Compromise involves making sacrifices, but it can be beneficial for those involved. In the end, repairing bonds and fostering understanding is achieved when we prioritize wisdom and thoughtful actions over impulsive reactions. Empathy paves the way for strengthened bonds of fellowship when conflicts arise. It's important to respond with wisdom and fairness to prevent escalation and promote reconciliation in the midst of conflicts. Our primal instincts often take over, clouding our judgment and preventing us from recognizing the complexities and connections with those we perceive as our opponents. Reactivity contributes to the deepening of polarization, causing harm through the use of words devoid of empathy. Nevertheless, by basing reactions on logic and guiding with empathy instead of disdain, we enhance mutual respect and enable a clear understanding of solutions that benefit everyone. One important aspect to consider is that by acknowledging people's shared desire for safety and purpose, we can humanize those we may perceive as opponents. This helps to reduce dehumanization, which can lead to violence. Recognizing our common humanity reminds us that deep down we all seek connection and fulfillment through meaningful relationships. This basic empathy directs conversations towards addressing issues rather than attacking people entire characters when disagreements arise. Assuming positive intent helps us move away from arguing about others' supposed mistakes and instead focus on resolving complex challenges. In addition, actively listening to understand different perspectives helps to put seemingly irrational reactions into context. Understanding the dynamics at play can be challenging when rigid assumptions are in place. Recognizing the influence of different cultural and psychological factors on people's viewpoints promotes understanding and tolerance in complex conflicts. Hasty reactions neglect nuance, while compassion comprehends then incorporates nuance. In addition, recognizing the difference between unchanging disagreements based on beliefs and disengagement caused by communication issues can help us understand how to effectively resolve conflicts. Certain differences can be difficult to resolve, and trying to enforce uniformity can often have negative consequences. However, a lot of interpersonal conflicts worsen because of assumptions rather than fundamental disagreements. Enhancing comprehension enables finding answers. In addition, by envisioning outcomes that benefit entire communities, we can avoid getting stuck in narrow debates that only focus on winners and losers. Finding a fair balance between Competing needs involves making compromises that respect the dignity of both people and the collective. Exploring different options and perspectives leads to effective collaboration and inclusivity at its core. Understanding our shared humanity helps to reduce reactivity, provide a thoughtful response that is guided by compassion. Comprehending leads to reconciliation, strengthening bonds after every fracture. When conflicts inevitably arise, consciously responding with wisdom and fairness proves essential for preventing destructive escalation and nurturing sustainable reconciliation in the midst of conflicts. Our primal instincts often take over, clouding our judgment and preventing us from recognizing the complexities and connections with those we perceive as our opponents. Reactivity fuels polarization's entrenchment, breeding harm through words, weaponized sand. Empathy, however, by grounding reactions in reason, leading judiciously with compassion over contempt, we uplift shared dignity, allowing clarity to dawn around solutions benefiting all. One important aspect to consider is that by acknowledging people's shared desire for safety and purpose, we can humanize those we may perceive as opponents. This helps to reduce dehumanization, which can lead to violence. Seeing shared human ity reminds reactive minds that at essence none desire isolation over inner fulfillment. Through community, this basic empathy directs conversations towards addressing issues rather than attacking people entire characters when disagreements arise. Assuming positive intent thus shifts from rebutting others' supposedly ill-willed mistakes toward reconciling complex challenges. Additionally, generously listening to actually understand alternate worldview contextualizes reactions deemed irrational through one limited lens. Understanding the dynamics at play can be challenging when rigid assumptions are in place. Recognizing the influence of different cultural and psychological factors on people's viewpoints promotes understanding and tolerance in complex conflicts. Hasty reactions neglect nuance, while compassion comprehends then incorporates nuance. In addition, recognizing the difference between unchanging disagreements based on beliefs and disengagement caused by communication issues can help us understand how to effectively resolve conflicts. Certain differences can be difficult to resolve, and trying to enforce uniformity can often have negative consequences. However, many interpersonal conflicts exacerbate through assumption, not core opposition. Restoring understanding empowers discovering solutions. In addition, by envisioning outcomes that benefit entire communities, we can avoid getting stuck in narrow debates that only focus on winners and losers. Satisfying competing needs fairly requires compromise, valuing both people and collective dignity. Seeking alternatives beyond limiting binaries unlocks collaborative synergy when all stand readily heard. Fundamentally, recalling shared humanity diffuses reactivity, provide a thoughtful response that is guided by compassion. Understanding ushers reconciliation, mending bonds stronger. For every breakage. Lesson 7: evaluate and strive for peace, not fight. When conflicts arise, taking the time to carefully consider the issues before responding can help foster collaborative solutions instead of escalating tensions. This involves a shift in perspective, moving away from a black and white approach to a more nuanced analysis that explores underlying causes and common interests. Peace building involves actively fostering sincere participation. When conflicts arise, take a moment to pause and gather all the Necessary information before reacting. Consider the complete context and historical background of disputes. Before making any judgments, there are various valid perspectives, not just one absolute truth. Take into account the main factors that drive each position and strive to find areas of agreement. In addition, it is important to explore and resolve the emotional dynamics that contribute to conflicts, such as feelings of disrespect, fear, and confusion. Unspoken hurts can often make conflicts worse and last longer than just the stated positions. Put empathy first and treat others with respect. Arguments often come down to everyone involved simply desiring safety, trust, purpose, and community. It is important to differentiate between conflicts that can be resolved through compromise and those that are rooted in unchangeable beliefs. In order to decide on the most suitable course of action, effective communication is necessary for the former, while the latter may involve embracing different perspectives. Uncovering the root causes of certain disagreements exposes flawed assumptions. Fostering a sense of shared humanity helps to establish connections. Even in the midst of superficial conflicts and unity, we strive for mutual uplift and sustainable peace, focusing on outcomes that benefit everyone. When conflicts arise in communities, it's important to prioritize empathetic connection and mutual understanding. This approach leads to reconciliation instead of retaliation. Superficial conflicts often intensify as people make assumptions about their opponent intentions, driven by fear, a sense of moral superiority, or a lack of understanding of the larger context. Peace building involves going beyond pointing fingers and instead focusing on our common humanity, taking responsibility for healing and working together to create a better future. To begin with, recognizing people's innate desire for purpose, belonging, and dignity helps prevent the inclination to vilify opposing groups during times of tension. Clarifying the intricate historical dynamics helps foster understanding and build bridges between different defensive postures. We are not divided but united by a shared desire for happiness and prosperity instead of suffering and violence. This compassionate perspective focuses on finding fair solutions by considering shared perspectives, distinguishing situationally disconnected relationships from morally incompatible worldviews, allows insight into appropriate conciliatory interventions. Certain differences are impossible to resolve, however many intercommunal conflicts exacerbate through unprocessed pain, poor communication, and zero-sum mentalities, not core convictions. By prioritizing empathetic listening instead of engaging in reactive debate, clarity can help dispel assumptions that contribute to excessive hostility. Restoring severed ties requires patience and healing. When justice is not accompanied by a strong underlying connection, it often fails to have a lasting positive impact on communities. Creatively uplifting marginalized groups' dignity through policies securing equitable access to social goods proves more sustainable than solely punishing oppression without rehabilitation. Prioritizing positive peace that addresses root injustices over counterproductive bitterness that harms new victims creates a space for possibility to thrive. In essence, conflicts arising from limited resources require fair solutions that take into account the collective needs, seeking mutually beneficial compromises that prioritize long-term nourishment for all rather than short-term profiteering that only provides temporary relief for a select Few prioritize people over profits when faced with difficult decisions during a crisis. A clear vision benefits everyone. Through actively challenging assumptions and seeking empathetic connection, sustainable reconciliation and justice can emerge from conflicts, providing an opportunity for growth and understanding. Love abounds from a fantastic chassis. Light is the only force that can eliminate darkness. Building strong connections and fostering mutual understanding is crucial for achieving sustainable reconciliation instead of retaliation when conflicts arise. Creating unity from divides requires the active efforts of all parties involved as they work towards peace by changing their mindset, practicing compassionate communication, healing emotional wounds, and envisioning dignity for everyone. Building peace requires embracing empathy and acknowledging our common humanity instead of viewing others as adversaries. Consider the inherent human desire for meaning and connection, which can sometimes lead to behaviors that may seem irrational without proper context. Understanding intricate historical and cultural dynamics can help foster understanding and bridge gaps by uncovering shared perspectives. We share a common longing, standing together on the same shore. The focus here is on resolving issues fairly, rather than blaming people. Differentiating between conflicts exacerbated by communication issues and those stemming from irreconcilable moral differences provides valuable understanding for implementing appropriate conciliatory measures when there is a rift between groups due to unaddressed pain. It can take time and effort to rebuild the bonds. However, with patience and accountability, it is possible to mend these broken relationships. Encouraging open and honest communication about emotional wounds and unmet needs helps to clear up misunderstandings and dispel any assumptions of malicious intent. Empathy and reconciliation naturally develop through understanding. It is crucial to prioritize collective care and respect for diversity when dealing with conflicting ideologies. Nurture the marginalized and elevate excluded voices when shaping policies in a democratic manner. Prioritize collaborative and positive mindsets for shared growth. Find compromises that prioritize the dignity of both people and the community. A breakthrough emerges through inclusive collaboration. The timing is crucial when conflicts arise. Take a moment to carefully examine the underlying causes before reacting. Take the time to thoroughly assess issues before jumping to hasty conclusions. Consider seeking advice from more level-headed people before making any hasty decisions. Take breaks during conflicts to regain composure before approaching the situation with a clear mind. Being patient leads to being prudent. At its core, the outcome is a direct result of our actions. Through the intentional cultivation of empathy, compassion, and respect, lasting reconciliation and justice can emerge from the midst of conflict. Light emerges from darkness when we nurture hope, lesson, agree on the best solution. Resolving conflicts in a positive way involves finding solutions that everyone involved can agree on without any pressure or force. Unlike debates where singular right answers get imposed, real-world disputes involve multi-faced dynamics requiring collaborative resolutions. Building a consensus requires active listening, finding common ground, and coming up with innovative solutions that prioritize the well-being of everyone involved. By actively listening to different perspectives, cultures, and emotions, we can gain valuable context that helps us understand the conflict. Understanding intricate Dynamics helps dispel assumptions and reduce defensiveness, enabling clearer analysis, connecting with our shared humanity brings people together even when they feel opposed. Parties naturally gravitate toward shared visions with this mindset shift by delving into shared aspirations and interests that lie beneath superficial disagreements. We can find common ground even when strategies diverge. People often engage in debates over precise approaches while discussing fundamental principles. Collaboration thrives when everyone is focused on common goals, leading to innovative solutions for the challenges we face. When we value diversity and recognize the importance of community interdependence, we can find compromise arrangements that meet the needs of everyone involved. By making compromises and reject false dichotomies, we can build trust and show that everyone's opinions are important. Therefore, sustainable unity is achieved by simultaneously respecting the dignity of both people and the collective. Successfully navigating conflict requires a framework that aims to achieve a fair and balanced outcome. Addressing intricate social issues requires finding solutions that benefit everyone in the long run with a focus on compassion and cooperation. By embracing a mindset of openness and determination, we can unlock endless possibilities and achieve mutual fulfillment through creative vision. Identifying solutions that work for everyone involves looking for clear signs of long-lasting quality that address the interests of all parties fairly instead of just providing quick fixes for immediate relief to a few people. Comprehensive solutions focus on addressing the underlying problems and structural issues while promoting trust and long-lasting peace. Hallmarks of robust resolutions reflect nuanced analysis, inclusive processes, restorative outcomes, and proactive enforcement. Effective solutions come from conducting a comprehensive conflict analysis that takes into account the complete historical, emotional, and systemic complexity of the issues from the perspectives of all the groups involved. In in-depth evaluation that uncovers underlying issues, hidden structural inequalities, and diverse personal experiences leads to valuable insights necessary for finding suitable solutions. Superficial or biased analysis leads to solutions that are only temporary at best. Thick understanding marks deep solutions. Enduring sustainable conflict resolution requires collaborative processes that involve input and consent from all stakeholder groups through transparent dialogue and decision-making based on consensus. Imposing one perspective forcefully undermines the trust and compliance of marginalized communities, which are crucial for smooth implementation. Inclusive participation, signaling representations and voice for all. Interwoven worldviews cements unified social contracts benefiting whole societies. Long-term effective solutions involve practical measures that are consciously crafted to address past injustices through restorative justice while also promoting the advancement of marginalized communities. These measures aim to ensure equal access to social resources and prevent any further violations. Our solutions aim to bring about positive change by addressing both existing suffering and taking proactive measures to prevent future conflicts. We approach this in a atheistic manner. Superficial changes are not enough to heal the underlying problems that remain unattended. Finally, durable conflict resolution relies on external accountability mechanisms to ensure enforcement and public transparency around fulfilling solution commitments. Between groups over time implementation. Momentum is driven by internal checks where governance structures empower visibility, integrity, and peaceful transitions of leadership. Reconciliations and joy. Longevity solutions that benefit everyone strike a perfect balance between the needs of the group and the desires of people, similar to versatile Keystone Arches. Robust resolutions incorporate diverse elements to create strong structures through compassionate collaboration. Together we stand. Final lesson. Positive communication. In the last chapter of Positive Communication, we summarize the importance of communication, empathy, integrity, and perseverance in turning conflicts into chances for personal development by embracing courage, openness, and a commitment to understanding others. We can foster reconciliation even in the face of profound societal divisions. This journey shed light on the inner work required to resolve conflicts, managing reactions, courageously challenging assumptions, communicating difficult truths with grace, and navigating emotional turbulence while staying focused on justice and peace. Humility allows us to better understand the perspectives of others, which in turn opens up new possibilities and opportunities. Compassion awakens possibility. External shifts require policies that promote fairness, while internal shifts involve letting go of misleading dichotomies that distort our understanding of reality. Superficial issues cause disruptions, while underlying insecurities fuel conflicts. When we give names to these hidden creatures, their power weakens, but we must dare to dive towards darkness first before daring to rise for the light. Through skill cultivation, trying, failing, and learning, we inch collectively towards increased conscious, capable of holding complexity and hope. Hand in hand, conflicts are bound to happen in human relationships, but it's up to us to decide how we handle them. Thank you for taking me on this journey with you. This is Dark Psychology World Channel. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and share.